Hello everybody. Today we are adding and subtracting integers. So, integers can also be added and subtracting using an algorithm or a set of rules. So when you're adding integers, if the two values have the same sign, then add and use the same signs. For example, positive plus a positive equals a positive. This is what you're used to seeing. Or a negative plus a negative will equal a negative. So you can think about it in one particular way, that if you have a positive and a positive, your answer will be more positive than your problem. Or if you have a negative, adding another negative, your sum will be more negative. If the signs are different, then subtraction, and take the sign of the number with the greatest absolute value. So let's take a look at the examples below. So we got 6 plus negative 5 equals 1. Well, the signs are different here. 6 is a positive number and negative, and then the other number is a negative. So you can take the sign of the first number with the greatest absolute value. The absolute value of 6 is 6, and the absolute value of 5 is 5. So I'm going to take the number with the greatest absolute value and give my sum that value. So for example, 6 is larger, so I have a positive number. Let's take a look at the next example. The absolute value of negative 6 is 6, and the absolute value of 5 is 5. But this, as again, has a higher absolute value, so it becomes negative. All right. On here it says, practice adding integers using the algorithm challenge. First, find the sum of each column, and if you have solved them all correctly, then the sum will match. So you have your 4 columns here, A, B, and C. And what they're saying here in the directions, which I'll highlight, you need to find the sum of each column. So when you have A, you will get an answer for negative 9 plus 6, whatever it is. And you'll also get an answer for 4 plus 7 and negative 7 plus 12 and negative 9 plus 9. You're going to add up all of your answers and you should get a sum of 13. If you don't get 13, then one of these answers is wrong. So, they say to use the algorithm, but one thing that I really like to use are these counters, which you guys all know about. Alright, so I'm going to represent my negative numbers with red, and I'm going to represent my positive numbers with yellow. So I have a negative 9 here. So I put 9 counters, and I have a positive 6. And the one thing I did teach you guys to do is, if you have a pair, you can cross it out. Alright, so these go away, and so on. And every time you have a pair, you can cross it out. Now whatever you're left with will be your answer. So my answer for this one is going to be negative 3. And why is it negative 3? Because all I had left were 3 negative counters. Okay? Fairly simple process, okay, for you to do with the counters. And I'm going to post this website over here that you can use, alright, where it does have counters in there, okay? So what you'll need to do is, after I post this, you can pick your grade level here, and then the type of manipulatives. And the type of manipulatives that we're going to be using are all the way at the bottom there, and they are called 2-color counters, so that you can drag and drop how many counters you need to use. So for example, if I had positive 3 plus negative 2, I can use these to pair them up and they would be going away. Also, you can always use that number line that was down there below to move on the number line left and right depending on the sign in front of the number, just like in our previous lesson. All right, we have additive inverse. When a number and its opposite are added, the sum is 0. So, what that is saying is that if you have a positive 2 and a negative 2, then your answer is 0. It's plus 2 minus 2, 0. So when you're subtracting integers, write the problem to add the opposite, then follow the rules for adding integers. So what we're saying down here is, for example, 6 take away 7 is the same as saying 6 plus negative 7. Or if we had negative 9 take away 11, it's the same as saying negative 9 plus negative 11. They're saying the same thing. Or if you have negative 3 take away negative 8, remember that when you see something like this, it becomes a plus sign. So then negative 3 take away negative 8 also can be said as negative 3 plus 8. So I am going to do these couple problems for you here. All right, so we had negative 5 take away 9. So I keep that first number, I put the addition sign, and I just put the second number in parentheses there. So for this one was a little bit special, of course, because we have that negative, that take away a negative. So whenever you take away a negative, it will become positive. So 8 plus 3 is the same as saying 8 take away negative 3. And we have the same deal here. We have a negative 2 take away negative 10. So I have that deal where I have a take away a negative, and those become positives. Okay. All right, the bottom is fairly easy. What I would suggest to use is your counters or the number line method, and anytime you see this little symbol here, you need to change these, take away a negative to a plus sign. All right, it is a shorter video today, but I did post a plethora or so many videos on today's Google Classroom post, and I would suggest viewing all of those videos to get a really better understanding of adding and subtracting integers. This is kind of a hard concept, but if you are home and you are with your folks or whoever you're with, you can always talk to them about bills, right? If you have a bill that gets taken away, that's really money in your parents' pocket or whoever's pocket. Okay? All right, everybody, have a great day and stay safe.